The One Micronesia Podcast is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Half a day, guys, and we're back with another episode of the One Micronesia Podcast. Now, this episode, man, I'm excited because I get to sit down and chop it up with these guys. Well, let's talk about chop it up. We've been talking for months, just chit-chatting, getting to know each other. And then now I was like, bro, we got to get on the podcast. The people need to know and hear your story and where you started and where you're at now and what you're doing with your career. So, ladies and gentlemen, our guests in today's episode, I do have with me a Chuukese rapper and activist, Mr. Nik Rosokow, with me on the podcast. Brother Nik, thank you so much and welcome to the One Micronesia Podcast.
Man, it's an honor, man. I appreciate you big time, Vic. So, thank you, man, for your contribution as well to the culture, man. What you're doing for us as Micronesians, with your platform, man. I honestly, man, I give you much applause and, I commend you, man, immensely.
So, man, like I said, thank you so much for jumping on. And, when I kick off the podcast, I always, start with getting to know. I want the viewers to get to know you, kind of go back in time just a little bit. So for those of my viewers that are watching right now, just tell us, where you're from and where you currently reside and stuff like that. Let's start there.
All right. Well, first and foremost, I'm a Chuukese artist and activist. I was born on Saipan, raised up in Florida. Currently, I'm in Washington, but I'll be moving around. This coming May, I'll be headed up to Texas. There's a good chance actually next week I'll be headed down to Oregon. I'm doing a model search. And, I'll just be traveling around amongst different states.
That's awesome. And bro, like you talked about, being born in Saipan and then, moving on to the States and growing up in the States, and I know you told me, but for those who are, just watching now and getting to know your story, when was the last time you visited home in Chuuk?
I was back home. This is like 2015. I actually arrived the day right after Typhoon Maysak, which if everyone doesn't remember, that was March 29th. So, my first official day in Chuuk was March 30th. And I was there for about like 3 years. I actually worked with IOM for a period of time as well. We did, assessments on the damages that were done. That was, it was like catastrophic, man. It was devastating, man. And we did a lot of work out there, with assessing the houses with IOM. I was also a teacher at one point. Worked at the airport, bartended. I'm a jack of all trades. So I did multiple things out there. But it was probably one of the best, probably the best 3 years of my life. As you can tell, like I'm half caste, so I had a lot to learn. But I was eager. I didn't have like tunnel vision. I was very open minded, open hearted, and I was hella down to learn. And I was fortunate enough that I was able to go down to all 40 municipalities. So I've been throughout, all of Mortlocks, Northwest, Faituk, the Lagoon. So, I even been to Pohnpei one period of time. So
you're legit. Like for real, like you can rap about, the struggle of Micronesia because the struggle of Micronesia,
Yeah, absolutely. And that also reflects with the struggle that we have, facing just being Micronesian abroad, because there's a lot of struggles that come with just being integrated, coming out here to the States, going out there to Guam, Hawaii, CNMI in general. I know that it's as you previously stated, like there's a stereotypical view, with a lot of Micronesians, and I'm hoping that I'm going to utilize, the tool that God gave me, being my music to, be able to break that barrier and, show that, like we're not all the same. We all have like, different gifts, different talents and different ways that we can contribute, not just to, like the culture, but the community as well, the communities that we reside in, so that's exactly what you're doing with your podcast, my bro. We're all doing something, man. There's so many people that have like, they have so much to offer, man, whether it's like through music, through business, just media content, just being an influencer itself, and, I feel like, like if you got a voice, and you got the numbers. Hey man, you got to use that to, to show a better example for our people. So I take that responsibility as best as I can, and I try to live up to it, man. And I hope that I make our people proud, man. So that's all I can do, man. So
I introduced you, and I introduced you as a Chuukese hip hop artist and an activist, Nik Rosokow. Many people out there are like, wait, who's Nik Rosokow? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think they know you, but they just don't know you as Nik Rosokow. They know you by your name, your stage name, the one, the only Robin Hood. Now, I got to get to, because I listened to parts of your interview with 680 movements. I hope I said that.
Yeah.
680 movement, the live that you did. And I heard parts of the story, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep that to where it's a surprise to me, where I get to learn more about. So we're going to talk about the name, the stage name. How did it come about? Why that name?
So like there's a 3-part reason why I chose that name. And I'm going to list it down from 3 to 1, keep it short. Number 3 is just because I was a big fan of Little John growing up. And I just like his energy that he brought to the stage, his nuance, and I want to be able to match that energy. And if you're familiar with the book, his sidekick was Robin Hood's sidekick was Little John. So, and in no shape or form or way am I saying he's going to be my sidekick, because I know he's the OG in this, but being that they were partners in crime, I definitely would like to be a partner in crime with him, like on the music scene, perhaps in the near future. Number 2 being that my mom's maiden last name was Robbins, spelled Robbins, and Robin Hood spelled Robin. So how I look at it is I just cut out all the BS out of my life. Yeah, and then last and foremost, which is like the most important reason why I chose the name, is the actual storyline of the character itself. He stole from the rich and he gave back to the poor. And I in no shape or form or way do I encourage thievery or robbery or anything like that, man. But I definitely do try to encourage giving back in some shape or form or way, whether if it's like your charity's done through money, through service, through just giving a little bit of game, giving some guidance, some knowledge. We can all contribute somehow, some way, some shape or form. So for me, that's all I want to do, with, just with my music and with my activism. So that's why I view myself more as an activist before an artist, and it's, I feel like that's a very important point for me to highlight, because a lot of people see Robin Hood for the musician, but they don't see me for, what I try to contribute, to the community. And, hopefully further down the line, as the album comes out and, more projects drop, you guys will be more familiar, with the things that I do, for us and for our people.
Amazing. That's him. That's Robin Hood, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to dig into his music career because, everybody would know him as Robin Hood. So we're going to get to know him from day one until today, learn about his music, learn what his music is all about. And that is on the way. We'll be right back. Hafide, Mogathin, and welcome back to the One Micronesia Podcast. We're still here with the one and only Nik Rosokow, aka Robin Hood, Chuukese hip hop artist and also activist. So let's talk about your music career, bro. How did it all start for you? When did you decide, like, oh man, this is it. This is what I want to do. Rapping or singing or performing is what I want to do.
I think I was like 15, because that's like when I was in high school, and they basically asked me what I wanted to major in, and I to be honest, like I didn't at that time admit that I wanted to do music, but I did have that in my heart that's the career that I wanted to pursue. By the age of 19, I was able to run into my brothers from Haiti. And, we have this little label that we call M&Q Productions. And, I got an offer to be a part of the team. And at first it was just an aspect of just being an artist. But I started doing a lot of things for them in terms of like, photography, filmography, graphic designs, promotion. I was really, really big in their promotion department. And, I started to learn to trade a little bit, so that's why I've been able to maintain my independence, even though I've been going like, all these different states, everything that, my success has completely been like, all on me, my dollar, my service, my effort, and if I can do it, y'all can too, man. Just got to put your mind, your heart, and 110% effort into it. So,
let's talk about this now. What inspires you and your music?
Oh man, our people, um, the kids, yeah, especially the youth, man. Music is so influential, man. And like this younger generation, I tend to notice that these guys aren't really big into like, like checking out what's hot on CNN or, the Washington Tribune or, or excuse me, Washington Post, Chicago Tribune. They're more into this this era of social media. They're big on, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok. Oh my God, TikTok is becoming a teen boy. So like for me, like if I want to have the impact that I want to have, on a positive manner, I figured that, it's best if I, use my gift to touch these lives, through media, and music, and it's just been a big tool of mine, man. So that way I can influence them to, to have like the same, the same mindset that I got, and, be able to apply certain lessons that, I'm going to be like, feeding them, through my music. And, perhaps they can live, bigger and better lives, not just for themselves, but for their family and for their future, and what we lay down for them, they're going to have to lay down, for their kids coming up, and then, so on and so forth. So, and, but at the end of the day, it starts with us, man. We're the OGs, man. We're the elders in this. So, now it's our turn, to find a way how, how to lay it down so that way they can understand, and not to discredit, like our older generation, because I got nothing but love and respect for our elders. But, I'm just, I'm using this tool of social media to speak in their language. And that way, they can perceive the message a little bit better. So,
and I'm going to agree with you 100%. You said that, like we said, we respect, our elders, because they came, they set it up for us. And now we're actually living it in this new generation of everything, of technology and things that we're surrounded by. So they pretty much took the hard road in being the first step, moving out of the islands, and then finding and creating life elsewhere from back home. That was a big step. I mean, what we're living now, it's they pretty much paved the way for us. But I think
they did for sure.
Yeah, but I think what are you trying to say, and I totally agree, like I said, 100%, is now it's up to our generation to either boost it up, take it up a notch, or just kind of stay with the flow, which nowadays we have to step up a notch with everything happening. And I think what we want and the initiative that we want, we talk about changing the narrative. It's our generation's time to change the narrative. It's in our hands now. What we do with it is really in our hands. You talked about it, laying it down for the next generation. That's our job, to change the narrative. So like I said, you're off to a great start there, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
We talk about, and you have so much pride in being Micronesian, being a Chuukese. It's very important, and I know to you, how do you incorporate that in your music?
I have a few songs where I actually utilize, a lot of Chuukese language. I actually use a lot of Chuukese phrases as well. Every now and then you'll hear references with Erni. Erni is like custom or like culture, and yeah, that's that way. We can keep the culture alive. You got to find ways to make it to where like it's hip, and it's like, like I shouldn't say hip. That sounds old lame, but like, you got to find a way to make it cool, make it interesting for the kids, because that's one reason why, like, a lot of the culture is dying, because there's so much of a Western influence, and if we can find a way how to like to not just integrate like ourselves into like American culture, but integrate our culture itself into American society, then that way, like, certain practices, the language itself, like it won't die out. I remember going to Chuk for the first time. The only words I knew that were in Chuukese was "rananim," which is hello, and "kirisok," which is thank you. And I came back, and now like I speak the language semi fluently. Part of the problem being is just because like I had to learn my dialect and the dialect from the lagoon. But you know, there's so many kids that are like, they're born and raised here in the States and they're full Micronesian, unlike myself where I'm half caste, but they don't even know their language and they don't even know their customs. They don't even know their culture, you know? And like I said, you know, I want to use the gift that God gave me to, you know, like influence these kids to, hey man, take pride in where you come from, you know, whether if you're, you know, Panapan, Yapis, Koshrayan, Palawan, Marshallese, Kiripas, you know, Naruan, Chamorro, Carolinian, Chuukese, it doesn't matter, man. You know, like you come from a special place. You know, we're one of the only people who have the practice of the old navigation, you know, where we use the stars, the wind, the current of the water, you know, like nature itself. We have that practice. That's something special about Micronesians, you know, and I definitely want to illustrate that too, you know, in my music. And you know, hopefully the youth, them, you know, they see that and they recognize like, damn, man, I got some ancestors in my blood that you know, they basically like paved the way and held down the old ways, you know. And you know, if we want to keep these ways alive, we gotta do the same.
There you have it, guys. Robin Hood, Chuukese hip hop artist and activist. We're going to take a break. But when we come back, it's going to get pretty heated up because we get to find out what's hot, what's coming up, what's new with Robin Hood after this. Half a day, Mogithin, Rananim, and welcome back to the podcast. It's the One Micronesia Podcast, and I'm here with Chuukese hip hop artist and activist, Robin Hood, his real name, Nik Rosokow, who is currently out in the States in Washington right now. Nik, man, brother, we talked about you. We got to know you. We got to know where you're from, your life story. You moved around. You came back to Micronesia. We also talked about your career, how it's going. And now it's down to talk about what's hot, what's new, what's coming up.
This coming 3 days, May 10th, we're actually going to be dropping a new music vid. We actually shot it up here in Washington. It's for my new single. It's called From the Night to the Morning. A lot of fans, they've been requesting this, man, because we actually shot this back in December, man. So this will be like a total of 6 months just about that I've been holding back. Part of the reason I'm holding back is because, you know, I'm in the midst of a model search down in Oregon, trying to get another video done out there as well. Also, coming on up on the 16th, I'll be in Texas shooting another music vid for another single called In the Field. And, you know, there's a good chance that, you know, maybe towards the end of the year, you know, I might be able to put out an album. But, you know, everything's going to have to be held back for now because, you know, I don't want to put out all the juice yet, you know. But yeah, From the Night to the Morning will be dropping May 10th. So, you know, for all the fans and the followers, make sure that, you know, you jump up on my YouTube, Robin Hood 691, and stay tuned. Keep it live.
So let's talk about it. The big video that you're dropping. Let's talk about the song, or I guess the video altogether. You know, it's pretty much a full package, pretty much right now. So let's talk about it. What's the message behind it? You know, what's it all about?
Well, From the Night to the Morning, to be honest, is a little bit more mainstream. Something to get a little bit of followers that are you know, maybe not of Micronesian descent, but I had a lot of people come out to the video shoot, show a lot of love. Valley Baby, had D-Los, had King G, you know, had a lot of people. I had Ghost Visions. He actually came and shot that for me. You know, it's basically something that's just supposed to be just a mainstream song, something that, you know, you can play in the club, play in your car, you know, something to vibe to.
Put it on TikTok.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to come out with a TikTok dance, you know. So ladies, I'm counting on y'all for that.
All right, so you know, so you talked about the album and you kind of teased it because you don't want to give out too much. Like I said, and I love the approach. I mean, you're throwing out these little videos, these singles here and there to kind of prep and get the people ready and kind of get the feeling of what this album is about. Can we get a little bit of information about that? Or
yeah, you know, each of these videos that I'm trying to do, I'll probably be doing them in different states. That way, you know, like I don't want to leave out, you know, like any single state or any you know, any particular community that showed me a lot of love. In terms of the album, like it's just I know it's something that the fans been dying for. I had a lot of other responsibilities, like especially including taking care of my family. But I think it's about time to make sure that I give the fans what they deserve, and I'm gonna give them this nice body of work, and it'll be available on all platforms. So
Nice.
coming soon, guys. So y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Can the fans like expect, maybe not in this album, but for the future album or a future single, like a straight, like nonstop Chuukese rap?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. So there's actually a single. I didn't want to say this, but there's a single that I'm working on with the legendary Chuukese. Chuukese, for those fans who might not be aware, is the actual first Chuukese rapper, and he did a lot of music, a lot like myself, where he wasn't afraid of what to say and what other people think of him or his music, and he wasn't scared to go against the grain. And I definitely want to have that same approach. I don't want to be ashamed to be who I am, and I don't want to have a filter or anything like that whatsoever. So we have a song that we're basically gonna be speaking about these politicians back home, because there's a lot of government corruption, and I feel like it's something that definitely needs to be addressed in our community, because we tend to be shy away from addressing something of that matter, because we're built off respect. What we call it fairo, fairoti, fairota. You give me respect, and I expect it to be reciprocated. But I feel like a lot of these politicians tend to take advantage of the power that they've been bestowed, and they end up stepping on the people's necks. And me being an activist, I'm for the people. And I think this single that I'll be putting out is definitely gonna raise a couple eyebrows. A couple red flags might go off, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's something that definitely needs to be heard. It needs to be addressed, and it's our time. It's time to take a stand.
All right.
So.
Well, there you have it, man. You heard it from the guy himself, Chuukese hip hop artist and activist. And you heard the activist part come out right there towards the end with Robin Hood. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll close things out. We'll be right back. Hafide Mogasin and Hananim. Welcome back to the One Micronesia Podcast. Man, we heard a lot. We learned about his life. We learned about his music career. We learned about what's coming up for him, what's new in his music. And now we're here to close out. And here are some last few messages for him. So, Brother Nik, Robin Hood, bro, and I know you have. And what would be a message that you would give the younger generation of Micronesian kids who are watching this podcast and gets inspired, maybe through your hip hop, maybe through your music, or through the words that you shared, when it comes to being an activist? What message would you have for them?
I'm the first of many. There's a lot of guys out here right now that are young and upcoming and doing their thing, and not just through music. There's a lot of athletes, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of podcasters, man. There's a lot of people out here, man, that are they're playing a part in having some form of influence, on this younger generation. And even if they're coming from that younger generation, and there's different steps to take to reaching success, and at the end of the day, long as you're fine, you can utilize the gift that you got to not only have the influence that you want to make a positive impact on our community, but also at the same time be able to provide for your family, provide for your loved ones, provide for your community. I definitely I want to commend that, and I want to encourage that amongst all of us. I remember growing up back in Saipan. This is back when I wasn't verbal whatsoever. I don't think I'd ever imagined that I would be in the place where I'm at, traveling all these different places where I've been, working with all the different wonderful people that I've worked with. And I think anybody, if they put their mind, their heart, and their soul into it, they can do it as well. I hate that phrase. They say the sky's the limit, because our ancestors, the limit was the stars. That's how they found the islands, and And that's how they were able to get to where they wanted to go. And that's how they built their foundation. And that's how our people are here today. And look at us now. Now, you know, it's the 21st century. You know, we got planes, we got boats, you know, we got cell phones. Listen, man, everyone, we have the tools, you know, to better ourselves and better our situation and better our community. So, you know, it's up to you to improvise and to be able to, you know, utilize, you know, modern day technology and, you know, be able to use that to better your situation. You know, education is key. Education is a key success. That's a word from Martin Luther King. Education is the key success, and unity is power. So, you know, that's another thing I want to encourage the youth as well. You know, make sure that, you know, you stick to it in school, man. Stay in them books. You know, I went from being a student to being a teacher. And just because I'm not a teacher doesn't mean that I stopped teaching, my guys. You know, I want y'all to understand that too, you know, and I want to encourage everybody, you know, to pursue some form of education, you know, and try to find a career, have a backup plan. So that way you have something to fall on, you know, and, you know, yeah, just, you know, get out here and get it, guys. Feed your family, man. Just grind. Have a hustle mentality. I made up this Chuukese word. This is one of my rap phrases. I say hachocho. It's hustle and hachocho. So y'all got to have a little bit of hachocho in your life, guys. And, you know, yeah, you know, put your mind, body, and spirit into it.
All right, guys, it's Robin Hood, bro. Before we close out, running out of time. Before we close out, just throw out your social media and where can people find you?
Okay. Yeah. So, via Snapchat, Instagram, and SoundCloud, y'all can find me at RobinHood691. Via Twitter and TikTok, which to be honest, I'm not that big on TikTok, but you can find me at Chuukese, Montana. And then via Facebook is Nik Rosokow. Oh, my YouTube, RobinHood691.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. That pretty much wraps up another episode of the One Micronesia Podcast. We will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
The One Micronesia Podcast is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.